a podcast about music, education, and life lessons. I'm your host, Tim Rausenberger. Today is Thursday, May 9th, 2019. This is episode 275, Strengthening Your Brain Power. A little bit of classical music here in the background. Type of music you'd hear maybe in those inspirational types of videos. Type of music that actually gets those brain cells going. Decided to go with that music for tonight. So it is so great to see all of you here. We're going to keep that music on just for a little while here just because I want to keep it on. So how's the hair, by the way? Are you okay with the hair? People are saying that they like what I'm doing with the hair here. Give me some feedback. I need some feedback from my loyal listeners here. The name of this particular song, by the way, is Fond Memories. How about that? Memories. Didn't even plan that, but hey, we need to give some nice big shout outs here. We have some people who have joined us in the chat. So let's take a look at what we have here. We have FHOWL. F how L. Okay, well, hello to you. Rebecca, thank you for joining us once again and rejoining us, I should say. Let's see, Ilianis, a nice hello to Ilianis for checking out the episode tonight. Jessica, welcome back from warm, hot Oregon. It is Oregon, by the way, folks. Let's get it right. None of this Oregon nonsense. All right. Michelle, hello back. Welcome back to the episode. Sean Stella, faithful listener. Of course, everybody, please give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up for our incredible moderator, Alice Wonder. A big shout out to Alice. You do that. I'd appreciate it. She's able to make this whole entire thing just all kind of come together. She keeps me in line, sends me little texts here and there to say, hey, Rausenberger, come on, get back on task here. All right, Sarah Yee, there she is. I told you I would be here, Mr. R. Yes, she did. She promised she would be here, and she's here. Let's see if we got anybody else here. Miguel Moran. Hello to Miguel. Miguel, it's so good to see you. I think you're going to enjoy tonight's episode a great deal. All say a nice big hello to one another, get to know each other. So here's where we're basically at right now with getting it done. So first of all, we're 275 episodes in, and I cannot thank you enough. Nice big bow to everyone. And yeah, this shirt, this is crazy. Isn't this nuts? Like, what is this all about with this whole weight thing? Yeah, I'm down 98.5 pounds. I'm going to write that in here, 98.5 pounds. And that's since December 23rd. So yeah, that's cray, isn't that? That's what the kids say. Yeah, it's crazy, completely crazy. So we should be down hopefully 100 by see his shirt weight. We should be down 100 hopefully by tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Now this is I have not worn this shirt in so many years, and here we are wearing the shirt and it's loose. Are you kidding me right now? It's loose. It's just crazy. So thank you to everybody for your support. It has been a lot to me. And ironically enough, a lot of the things we're going to discuss tonight do tie into not just really so much my weight loss, but I think also the things that I think that I've been able to gain and the increased brain activity that I've had. And I started working a lot more on my brain over the summer. I kept on telling people over the summer, I'm training. People are saying, well, what does that mean? I'm training. Well, a big part of it was training my brain. And that's some of the stuff that we're going to go into tonight. Again, I cannot sit here and say that I can claim everything that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. A lot of it is begged, borrowed, and stolen from other people, from different types of experts in the field, scientists, videos, things that I've heard over the years that we think are true, that we hope are true, and hopefully dispel some rumors. But I was studying right up until we started this episode tonight. So a few quick things with getting it done that I'd like to get into as to what we're going to be doing with the podcast moving forward. Obviously, we're at episode 275. What I'm in the process of doing is taking all of the audio episodes, and over the course of the summer, every single audio episode, every one of them, starting from episode number 1. I'm going to be taking them, I'm going to remaster them, do a little bit of editing, and then I'm going to bring them to you right here on YouTube. If you take a look at episode 161, the one with Kyle Dubiel, that was our first interview, and it's an audio episode. And what I'd like to do with those episodes then is be able to give you some information on the screen, so you're not just hearing the person the entire time, but you have some visuals that you can go by, because I think that is important. Yes, it is nice to be able to interact here and be able to talk with one another, which is great. Yes, I have the beautiful artwork in the background. Love my artwork. Yes, I have the colorful ties and all that stuff, and I don't know if I'm great to look at, but hey, but I think it's extremely important that these podcast episodes, that they are shared. And if you haven't had a moment to go on to iTunes, go on to SoundCloud, listen, if you don't have an iPhone, or even if you're not really into the whole iTunes thing, open up a SoundCloud account. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. You can go on to SoundCloud. You can listen to all the episodes for free. There's another platform out there called Podchaser. I'll type that in there. They're wonderful, and we're actually one of the higher ranked podcasts on Podchaser, so you can even check them out. Thank you very much, Miguel. That's very, very nice of you. Okay, so let's get right to it here. We are talking about strengthening brain power. There are a lot of different directions I can go, but you might be a little bit surprised. Where do you think I'm going to go first in terms of strengthening brain power? Can you possibly type something into the chat right now? What do you think would be the first thing that I would discuss in terms of brain power? Would it be something inside of the brain? Would it be something inside of here? Would it be something that has to do with our overall being? Does it have to do with our environment? What do you think? I see eating right. I'm seeing sleep, food, water, meditation, positivity. Okay, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Let's see. What other types of things? Where do you think I'm going to be going with first? Okay, so stress, exercise. Get some good things here. Caffeine. No, okay, we'll just put that off to the side. Self-care. Hypothalamus. I'll say that again in that special voice. Hypothalamus. Here we go. Okay. To think of self or self-love. All right. So what do we think? Thoughts? I am actually going to go with, come on. What is the one thing that everyone in the world loves? Come on, give it to me. The one thing that everyone in the world loves. One word. Thank you. Thank you very much. And that's what we're going to be starting off with. Food. We're going to be starting off with food. So let's get into brain foods. And we're also going to go one step further, Jinx. Thank you, Jinx, for being here tonight. So we're going to get right away into the brain foods, the foods that are absolutely proven, scientifically proven to be good for your brain and increasing brain activity. So we're going to tackle those first, and then we're going to talk about some of the ones that are not so good and discuss some of the reasons why they are not so good. So definitely you want to be taking notes right off the bat in terms of foods that are very, very healthy. So we're going to start off with number 1. And of course, Jessica, because Jessica is just that smart, we need to start off with the avocado. I miss my avocados so much. Can you believe I have lost all this weight? I have not eaten any avocados at all. No avocados at all since December. 0. No avocados. Yet avocados are absolutely proven to be just a complete total superfood for the brain. And it's getting to the point now where scientific studies are actually saying, and they're in agreement, that everything involved with the avocado might elevate it to being number 1, the most important food that you can actually feed to your body, feed to your brain. They're good fat. we're dealing with the oils. Jessica, I would love to get into all the specifics. Unfortunately, with my diet, there are some things I'm allowed to discuss, some things I'm not allowed to discuss. There's some proprietary information that I actually can't get into. I can actually get in trouble with the place, my diet clinic, because they have rights to certain types of things. But I cannot have any avocados with my diet. But I guarantee you, I will be off the diet next Tuesday, and the first foods that I'm eating are going to be avocado, and number 2, salmon. Salmon is wonderful for you. Again, we're dealing with the all the fats. These are healthy fats that are in salmon. Fish in general, fish is just very, very good. The thing we have to be careful when it comes to fish has to do with the mercury count. Also has to do with where the fish is coming from. The big difference, and I know Alice and I have had great conversations about this over the years, over the fact that fish, getting it frozen or getting it fresh. And I have to admit, I got to give it up to Alice, because she certainly did say to me, no more of this frozen stuff. And since I've been getting fresh fish, my goodness, has it been incredible getting fresh salmon. So guaranteed on Tuesday next week, I will be having some salmon and avocado. Matter of fact, I may even, for next week's live episode, I may even have to have some of the foods that I have not been eating, just because, you know what? I've been a good boy for the last 4+ months to get this whole weight loss thing going on. So salmon, avocado are first ones that we're going to start with. The next ones are a little bit out of order. Number 3, this is one that is gaining a lot of traction, beets. And you can even go one step further with beet powder. Saw a study recently that people or athletes and just people who train in general, they have beet powder first thing in the morning, that they tend to have stamina up to 16 times more stamina than the leading opponent, or whatever the case may be. But you have a lot more stamina. You have a lot more energy if you have beet powder. And I'm looking into the concentrated types. I actually have some student athletes who've been coming up to me showing me beet powder. It is expensive, but they have been saying that it's actually been helping them with their conditioning, with their energy levels, reducing nausea, which is fantastic. So so definitely beets a wonderful thing. Number 4, I think this goes without it. Can you figure out the top fruit? What do you believe the fruit that's highest in antioxidants? Highest in antioxidants, great for the brain. Great for the brain. It's not apples. It's not apples. Apples are not bad, because apples are very good for you in terms of the fiber. One thing you have to keep in mind with all fruits is you are going to be dealing with some type of sugar content. So any idea here with overdoses? Michelle, is that true? I need some verification on that. Is that true? Overdoses, beet powder before tennis practice. I actually want to know. Curious to see if she's saying that to be funny or jokingly. Number 4, blueberries. Yeah, looks like that Rebecca just snuck it in there. Blueberries are very, very high in antioxidants. They're also very high in fiber. So if you're having some digestive issues, have some blueberries there. Yeah, that'll get things going in the system for sure. But blueberries are very, very high in antioxidants. The blueberries, there are some people that love them, some people that don't. And again, thing with blueberries, they tend to not have a very long shelf life, so you do have to consume them pretty quickly. I have frozen blueberries before. They really don't taste that great, so you really do need to have them fresh. And if you buy them in the summer, if you buy blueberries in the summer, you're going to get them really, really cheap. In the wintertime, not so much. And that's the case with a lot of these different things. A lot of these great foods, unfortunately, can be expensive, but if you compare it with some of the garbage that you can put into your system, in the end, is it worth it to actually spend the extra money and buy the good foods, or buy the trash that's going to make you feel like, well, trash? So let's go on to number 5. Let's go to a type of oil. Can you think of probably the best oil you can be putting into your body? best oil you can be putting into your body? Oil. Jessica's going with olive oil. That's what a lot of people think right away. Olive oil is on this list. I do have olive oil on this list, but it's not believed to be the top oil. There's another oil now that, and I will tell you that I've actually been taking this oil. I take a scoop of it and I eat it. And you know what? I find it to be tasteless. That would be coconut oil. And if you can get some good coconut oil, I know there's, I'm forgetting the brand right now. I want to say it's Crisco, I think, but it's not that expensive actually. And if you just grab just a heap of it and just have that to start off the day, it's tasteless. I mean, if you can even just flavor it a little bit, it's really, really, really good for you. It's extremely, extremely powerful. But believed to be one of the better oils out there. Certainly, if you're going to have olive oil, they all have different types of tastes, but the type of olive oil which is best would be the extra virgin olive oil. Okay, extra virgin olive oil. That's a type of olive oil that you definitely want to get. It has the nutrients and has the things that you want in there. And it's, in a lot of ways, every bit as good as the coconut oil. Coconut oil has a little bit of an edge to it. Okay, so we have already hit, I think, greens in general. I think if we just talk about greens, and more specifically, if we hit certain types of greens, broccoli, definitely. Broccoli is definitely a brain food. One of the things with broccoli you need to keep in mind is digestion of broccoli. Now, broccoli can be gassy for some people. Actually, for a lot of people, it can be gassy. And broccoli might be something you might want to consider having in the afternoon as opposed to the evening. Believe it or not, I cannot have broccoli right now. And it has to do with the digestion of the broccoli and how much time it takes to go through the system, even though, again, it is a brain food. But I can't have any broccoli at the moment. Celery is excellent for you. Lettuce. Now, the one thing with lettuce is there are different types of lettuces that have less nutrients than others. One type of lettuce really doesn't have much in terms of nutritional content is iceberg lettuce. Okay, iceberg lettuce is, there we go. Jessica even said it at the same time as me. It really doesn't have much in the way of nutritional value. Now, if you're dealing with mesclun lettuce, you're dealing with red leaf, romaine. Those types of lettuces are certainly better for you. But iceberg lettuce, in general, usually if you're going to be getting, for instance, you're going to McDonald's, you're going to Burger King, and I hate to say it, but a lot of other places that are maybe even more upscale with some of their burgers and chicken and such, a lot of the lettuce that they're putting on there is iceberg. If you can, request a different type of lettuce. Just request romaine. Now, the one thing, of course, we need to be careful of, and this is with all food, obviously, is that we always run the risk of different types of recalls. And romaine went through a really bad stretch there for a good 6 to 9 months of things that we're going through. Thank you, Watermelon Duck. You're absolutely right with E. coli. So that was a big issue in general. The one thing to say to Watermelon Duck, I know that the greens in general can be an issue. One thing that you may want to think about is just taking these foods and taking these greens and maybe do it in small moderations, but just flavor them. Just flavor the heck out of them. One of the things that's gotten me by, for instance, I've been eating a lot of kale. Now, a lot of people consider kale to be really nasty. Kale is extremely low in calories. Spinach is, of course, great for you too. So, I mean, if I say either kale or spinach, they both digest extremely well, just very good overall, and also good for the brain in terms of the greens. I personally like spinach better than kale, but With both of these, I season the heck out of them. I really put a lot of things in those to kind of mask the taste, especially the kale. Kale, you really have to cook kale well to really soften it up, because it can be a really, really tough type of surface. And I am looking off the side here because I do have a lot of material off to the side here. All right, we're going to keep on zipping through because you didn't come here to just talk about food, even though I know this is really making you hungry. All right, let's keep on going here. I want to see, what was that? Number 7 was greens. All right, so number 8, we're going to go with, I think this was said before, but for those of you who love it, oh my goodness, Sarai, how do you do it? Sarai, how are you that good? Dark chocolate, absolutely correct. Dark chocolate is number 8 on my list, and it has to be dark chocolate. If you have that dark chocolate, there are different types of antioxidants in dark chocolate. The one thing about it, it can be a very, very bitter taste. That's the one thing about dark chocolate. It can be a very, very, some people can think of it being a nasty taste. The milk chocolate tastes maybe a little bit better, has a little bit more, a little bit lighter, creamier type of taste, a little closer to the dairy, where the dark chocolate, not so much. Think of it as if I don't know if you've ever had dark chocolate, dark chocolate flavored hot chocolate. If you've ever tried a little bit of that mix, it can be a little bit tough to take down. If you've ever had cocoa, but I'm talking about the organic style cocoa, and that stuff is expensive. You buy it for a pound, 2 pounds, you're talking about $20 to $30 that you're paying, and that's very, very high in antioxidants. So that's where your dark chocolate's going to be coming from. Number 9. Now, I have missed these a lot too, and this has to do with the cholesterol, but more specifically, egg yolks. Egg yolks are really, really wonderful for the brain. The egg whites are great, certainly for all the protein, but the yolks, though, there are things with the yolks. And what happens with all these different things that we're talking about, they basically stimulate different things in the brain. And I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to try to act like I am one, but they ultimately fire off different types of things up here and just get things just moving along. And the egg yolks are certainly part of that. Let's see what else we have here. We talked about this salmon. Can you figure out the best type of nut? What do you believe is the best type of nut that I'm going to be listing for number 10? I was a little bit surprised by this. Now, one of the things about nuts in general, they all have a lot of fats. They have very high fat, but the fats are good fats inside of them. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Best nuts. Pistachios, definitely up there. Pistachios are very good. They're also very expensive, as we know. And just as I was about to type it, Rebecca has nailed it. Walnuts. Walnuts are very, very good for you. You need to be careful with nuts in general, because there are certain types of nuts that go under legumes. And the ones that are, just think about the nuts that are kind of shaped like beans. Some of them are not as healthy for you as you may think. The ones that are shaped like beans, specifically cashews. A lot of people are under the impression that they're really, really good for you. There are some studies that debate that. Now, listen, you're not going to go wrong in terms of just consuming nuts throughout the course of the day. Your worst nut to consume is probably going to be the peanut. Okay, you're probably going to get the least nutritional value when you're dealing with peanuts, but you're not going to go wrong. It's going to be certainly a lot better to have peanuts than to have potato chips. I mean, you're certainly going to be a lot better off in that regard. In terms of any types of spices or things that we can add to food, can anybody think of things that we can add that are going to be able to help us with our brain? I have 2 specific ones here that we can add to add to our foods that are going to help us with our brains. Okay, oregano is good. Okay. Let's see, cilantro. She's eating spicy chips. Thank you, Michelle. We appreciate that. And I'm jealous. I haven't had chips since December. Okay, without a doubt, number 11, turmeric. And ginger is great too, but turmeric is really, that's an excellent, excellent spice. There are just so many qualities about that that are so beneficial for you if you can ground it down. And again, it's going to be expensive, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And the reality of this, my friends, is that all these foods, and it's interesting, is a lot of these foods I've not been eating. I've been eating other foods, but when I do ultimately get off my diet, which will be next week, I'm not going to return to the trash and the garbage that I was eating before. I'm going to be eating a lot of these foods that are on the side. I'm going to be eating the walnuts. I'm going to be having broccoli. I'm going to be having salmon, avocado. These are all the things that I'm going to be able to eat to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Now, the reality was, when I was heavier, I actually did consume those foods. So I had made that lifestyle change. I made that lifestyle change in the summer. I really had, I remember I had a lot of avocado in the summer. I really made it an effort. And I can't begin to tell you, there was something in general about my brain. My brain started firing on cylinders that I had never experienced before. And what was fascinating about it, my friends, is that my summer was spent working really hard because I was in graduate school and I needed as much brain energy as possible. And the things that I was producing in terms of the content and the papers, and then the idea of getting the podcast going and all these different types of things and motivational speaking. I mean, I'm operating, I'm going to confess, this is one, and we're going to get into this tonight. I'm only operating on 3 hours of sleep. Why? Well, I'm going to take a little break here. This nonsense. Yeah, it's not fixed. It's not fixed. I thought it was going to be fixed. I was a fool. I thought that an implant meant that this is all of a sudden going to disappear, and it didn't. It did not. An implant means that they're going to be putting something up there. It's really disgusting. I'm not going to be lifting up my lip, but I had a horrible, horrible oral surgery procedure done on that. I had another tooth that was extracted. I was bleeding for 2 days, and it was disgusting. So I didn't get much sleep the last two days in general. But you know what? I'm loaded with energy. Why? Because of the foods that I've been eating in general, and they just keep my energy level up. So now that we've hit all these different types of foods, let's talk about the things that we can do that are going to get us in a better mindset, are going to get the brain going. We're going to kind of take these in somewhat of a random order. Some of them are going to be off to the side. Please feel free to offer your thoughts, because I don't have all of the answers here. One thing that's absolutely been proven, positively proven. So now we're going to be talking about various topics and areas to improve brain activity. Okay, so various topics and areas to improve brain activity. All right, number one, right off the bat, and we're going to hit this, is going to be meditation. And a lot of people have put meditation down. I cannot and will not try to act like an expert on meditation. I actually just got done telling one of my very, very close friends, the instant that my summer begins, I'm going to start meditating daily. The second that my summer begins. And the reason why is because I really want to take the time and figure out what's going to work for me, talk to a lot of people, develop a routine, and be able to follow it without the grind that I have to worry about every single day. I mean, the reality is I woke up today at 4 o'clock in the morning and I didn't get home until 6:15. It's a stressful day. And it's really just next to near impossible for me to be able to find time to meditate right now. And quite honestly, I'm scared if I meditate, then I may fall asleep. And I know me with sleep. Usually when I go to sleep, that's the end of that. So at any rate, but I will say that I know that meditation absolutely works. It's an excellent thing to do. What can you do with meditation? You can find guided meditation online. There are tons and tons of articles, tons of videos you can find. Just type in meditation as a keyword search in Google, in YouTube, and you're going to be fine. You know what I have to say to you, by the way? Forget about this. I'm going off topic for a second. You know why? Because this is my show and because I can. Darn it. Yeah. Thank you for being here. And you know what? You are getting smarter just simply being here because your brain activity is going off. Look at all of you on the side here. Look at this chat. This chat is awesome. And you know what we don't have? We don't have 600 people, and we don't have a bunch of, I'm going to say it for what it is. We don't have a bunch of idiotic nonsense off to the side. We have people who are actually participating. We have people that are being friendly. We have people that are being very caring about one another. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me that you took the time because you care about improving yourself. That's important. So each Thursday, hopefully you can say to yourself, I'm going to improve my brain tonight because something is going to happen tonight that I didn't know before. And if it's something that you didn't know, you just made your brain stronger. You made yourself better. Thank you, Michelle. Wow, what a nice thing to say and totally unsolicited. And one of the incredible things about, I have to say this about Michelle just for a minute. Michelle's not even my student. I had Michelle for a matter of weeks in a chorus class, and it means so much to me that you would take the time to do this. You're trying to improve yourself. So just by virtue of the chat alone, you are getting better. You now know about these foods. You know what? You may not be able to afford some of the foods. I certainly can't afford to buy some of these foods at certain times of year. Blueberries at $6 for a little carton. I can't afford that. But you know what, though? At least you know. And I try to mix it up and try to vary things, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate your positivity, though, too, Watermelon Duck, because you're one of the most positive people that I know. So I think we need to reciprocate that. And we're going to get into something else. How about this? How about this for number 2? How about being friendly? When you are friendly to other people, it improves your brain health. What does that mean? It means you're getting involved in clubs. You're interacting with other people, any type of interaction, as opposed to being a hermit, as opposed to not talking to anyone whatsoever. You're here tonight. You're involved. Okay, yes, you are chatting, and we're not actually talking per se to one another. We're actually just typing something in here, but you know what? You're actively involved. You're at least listening to my voice. And you think about the clubs, you think about interaction. And for some people, it might be religion. You know, I don't talk about religion too much. It's for me, I'm not a fan of organized religion, but that doesn't mean that I hate it. Not by any stretch, because there are valuable components of organized religion. And one of the greatest things and most empowering things, and why I think it is so important for so many people out there, is it helps with their mindset. It helps some people to stay on course. And we need that. We need structure. We need people who are feeding us positivity. And it may come from specific types of organizations. And in that regard, organized religion is especially powerful. And a lot of it has nothing to do with the religion component, but it has to do more with the organization, that you're part of something, that you're part of a team, that you're contributing with one another and making each other better. And you're doing things selflessly. Hello to Jazzy Games. I've never seen you before. I'm loving all these new people that are here tonight. Hello to you. So again, keep on let's keep on getting some more new people here tonight. Let's get them involved in this discussion. All right. So let's go to number 3. I just talked about it before. Sleep. Okay, my friends, there are too many of you in here that we unfortunately are at the mercy of our schedules. Let me throw this out to you, and I want you to just digest it. Okay, again, we're digesting it. We're digesting it in our brains. Okay. Sleep. How important is sleep? When you sleep, there are so many things that happen. There's so many things that happen in terms of the cells, in terms of recharging your battery, re-energizing your body, your body, specifically all the cells in your body. And that's extremely important, but it also does a lot when it comes to your brain. It is now a proven fact that a lack of sleep, and I'm going to type this in, equals a worsened memory. It's now scientifically proven. If you're not getting enough sleep, your memory is going to suffer. And I know that for a fact. I am now at the point in my life where I have to admit it. I actually, when I was driving home today, I was having a hard time remembering what I ate this morning. That's a fact. I had a hard time remembering what I ate. I had a hard time remembering some of the things I did earlier this morning because I didn't get that much sleep. In general, I have been getting more sleep. And if you are someone who is sleep deprived and you're having issues with your sleep, you need to look into that. One of my very, very close friends, I have been after him. I've been after him because in 2005, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. What is sleep apnea? Scary. What does it mean? It means that in the course of your sleep in the middle of the night, you stop breathing. Yeah, that just happens. You just stop breathing altogether. And how many times has it happened to me? I guess over the course of an hour, you would think that I'm talking stopping, you're not breathing at all. 2, 3, 4 times maybe in an hour, right? That's really terrible. How about this? Over the course of an hour, if I am not using a CPAP machine, that's continuous positive air pressure. That's what CPAP stands for. If I'm not using that device when I sleep, I don't know if it's changed since, but when I had my last sleep study done, an actual study where they hook up all these little things to you and everything, I found out that I was stopping, my breathing was stopping 40, 40 times per hour. That's nearly once a minute I was not breathing at all. That's scary stuff. And I found out that my friend was suffering from the same thing. He just found out, I think it was literally today. And I hope he's here right now. And if he isn't, hopefully he's going to be watching this later on. But that's scary stuff. You got to take care of that. That's not good. So since I've been using that machine, I've been sleeping a lot better. How do you know if you have something like sleep apnea? You know when you are not dreaming. I didn't have dreams forever. The only time I would have dreams were when I would have nightmares when I was sick. Now I have dreams, and that has to do with other things with your sleep patterns, having to do with REM sleep and productive sleep. And we're not going to get into all of that. The minimum amount of sleep that you should be getting each night. Anybody know what the minimum is? You should be getting a minimum of 6 hours. Now, that's not ideal, but I will tell you that throughout the course of this diet anyway, I have been getting anywhere from 6 to 9 hours pretty much every night. When you start sleeping more than 9 hours, you can actually get a little bit overtired, and sometimes that can be not so great. The other thing too is once you have woken up, this is just a little side note, this is something I have learned. Once you've woken up, let's say you got 5 hours of sleep, do not go back to sleep. I'll say it again. Guilty as charged, right over here, this guy, okay? You got 5 hours of sleep, wake up, stay up. Do not go back to bed because you restart a brand new sleep pattern. How do I know that? I just learned it because I'm trying to improve my brain. You see? Okay. I'm always learning. I'm trying to learn new things. So you don't want to go back to sleep because you start a brand new sleep cycle. So it's like you start from zero again. No good. You got 5 hours of sleep. That's what you're stuck with. Stay with it. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about you got up in the middle of the night because you were nauseous. You got up in the middle of the night because you had to go to the bathroom. You got up in the middle of the night like I had to with this horrible tooth situation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you've been up. You've been up now for a good 5-10 minutes, and then you decide to go back to sleep. Bad move. Bad idea. Okay. But Michelle is pretty much correct. The ideal amount of sleep per night is 8 hours. What does that mean? That means you only have 16 hours left in your day. It means 1/3 of your life you should be sleeping. If you do that, it's going to have the best benefits for your body. It's going to do the best in terms of recharging your body, in terms of your digestion, in terms of your memory, in terms of your brain cells, everything in terms of your system. So sleep is extremely important. And one other thing, and I just learned this today too, brain cells remove toxins. What are those toxins? Think of toxins. You ever done this before? Yes, I hope that bothers you, that sound. Yep. Okay, those little cracks there, those cracks, they say, oh, you crack, you're getting arthritis. That's completely not true. Absolutely not true. It's a total myth. What you're dealing here is you're dealing with those little pops, those little air bubbles that are in there. That is garbage. Think of toxins being toxic. Okay, trash, garbage. You want to get rid of them from your body. So when you get like a massage, if anybody's ever gotten a massage before, what's happening? The toxins are being moved around your body, and they can really change things. That's the reason why after you get a really deep massage from someone, what's the first thing you need to do? Anybody know? Because it's the next one I'm going to be listing here. One thing you absolutely do not want to do to your body. What does your brain need? Especially when you are moving those toxins around. This happens especially when we perspire. When we perspire, it's going to eventually lead to dehydration. Dehydration, very, very bad. Very, very bad when it comes to our brains. We need to hydrate our brains. It's not just hydrating the body, it's hydrating the brain. The brain needs a lot of water. Now, again, we don't want to overhydrate, but we certainly want to consume plenty of water. Now, you're going to be looking at this. You're going to be saying, what is this all about? Okay, he's got the Dunkin' Donuts thing. First of all, I have been kind of recycling cups, and I have to confess, it's not always been Dunkin' the entire time. What this is, though, is it is a combination of coffee that's decaf at this time of night, or else I'll be up all night. But only half of it is coffee. The other half is water. And the rest of it is all natural sweeteners. There's 0 calories in this. I got vanilla, caramel, and coconut going on, and it tastes divine. And it is, I only have it as ice cold coffee. But for the diet that I have, the coffee I found has worked extremely well. That's what I've been drinking for the last 4 months, and it's been amazing. But at any rate, though, water, me personally, I hate. I cannot stand the taste of water alone. What do you need to do? If you want to flavor your water, flavored water, there's only one way to go. I am proof of it for the last many months. Put stevia into it. Stevia is the only natural sweetener outside of putting fruit in there or like lemon juice. But that's it, though. Flavored water, you've got to add stevia in there. Any of the other things that you'll see in the stores, the sugar-free things or whatever, all you have to do is very, very simple. Go and look at the ingredients. You know what you're going to see? You're going to see a bunch of chemicals. You're going to see those dyes. If you look, for instance, think of a terrible, terrible soda like Mountain Dew. It's one of the worst sodas you could have. Surge is a terrible, terrible soda for you. It may taste good. You may like the taste, but you know what? You go and look, and they have all these different dyes in there. These yellow dyes, these red dyes. Ugh, no good. All right. So we want to avoid that altogether. All right. Let's get to some other things here. What else do we need to do? We need to, we need to exercise. Got to exercise, okay? We need to get that going, okay? What does it do? It's very, very simple. Anybody know what the ideal number of minutes per day is to exercise? Ideal number of minutes a day. This could be any type of working out. This could be any type of cardio, whether it's running or some walking, stretching. Anybody know the ideal number of minutes a day to be exercising? The ideal number of minutes to increase your blood flow to your brain is 30 minutes a day. Okay, 30 minutes a day is going to increase the blood flow. I'll be okay. Blood flow. I think that could be a new tongue twister in my chorus class. What do you think, guys? 30 minutes a day will increase the blood flow to your brain and get things just going in general. Try it. I can absolutely say, and with verified proof, I force myself during my lunch breaks. First time in my entire educational career, I get out of the building. It's not that I don't like it there. I get out of the building to just get some fresh air and just get my legs moving. And I could do that in the school too, of course, but I look a little bit weird if I'm just, roaming the hallways. I just get outside, even if it's raining outside, just better to be outside in general, just moving around and just getting things going. Just walking alone is better than not doing it at all. And what I do myself on weekends, especially those of you on weekends, and you're in those situations where you're not walking to school, you're not walking to a job, you're not walking to your car, you're not walking on the job or walking at work. You need to get those legs going. It will get the mind going. It's very, very good for the mind. And what is it going to do? It is going to reduce stress. You've got to do anything and everything you possibly can to reduce stress that's going to help your brain. One of the reasons I had such a productive summer was because it was one of the most stress-free summers I've had in recent memory. And I'm specifically doing things and tailoring my summer, this upcoming summer, so I can have as many stress-free activities as I possibly can. You are going to be shocked. And I'm happy if you want to talk to me off to the side, not here or right now, because it would take too much time. I never, ever, 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 ever get stressed when I'm on the road. Never. What do I have going on the road? I have music, which relaxes me. I'll have phone calls with people that I enjoy speaking with. I'll do other productive things where I need to make phone calls to businesses where I don't have to be getting frustrated. And even the frustrating ones, it actually helps me to not be so stressed on the road. And if not that, I'm doing different types of audiobooks or YouTube educational videos, whatever I can possibly do where I'm taking the stress off the road. Listen, my friends, I hate to break it to you. If you're in a metropolis, if you're in a metropolitan area like I am, the traffic's always going to be there. Okay, get over it. It's always going to be there. If you live out in the country, then you're lucky in that regard. But there's no point in getting frustrated and honking and going. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's going to raise your stress level. You need to keep the stress level down. Whatever it takes, putting music on. Speaking of music. Okay, I'm going to put down music, but you have to. Music's tricky because it depends on the type of music. One thing that I've heard from a lot of my students over the course of the years is I've heard that they listen to music to calm themselves down, or do they? Because if the brain activity that's going on or the music is negative in any type of way, it's being counterproductive. So you've got to think about the type of music you're going to be listening to. Now, there was this study that happened, and I can tell you, I got proof probably somewhere over here, and I know I have it downstairs, where there was this thing called the Mozart Effect. And the Mozart Effect had to do with basically taking focus groups where they would have a group of people take a specific test with music playing. And then they'd have another group of people taking the test with no music playing. And then they'd have people taking tests with Mozart playing. Now, why did they pick Mozart? Well, they picked Mozart because Mozart was the perfect composer. There is no dispute when it comes to that. Nothing that Mozart ever wrote was void of perfection. It was absolute, complete, total perfection. You don't have to like it, but it was perfect music because he was the perfect musician. He is believed to be the smartest human being who ever lived, smarter than Einstein, smarter than Da Vinci. So what they did was they picked Mozart out. And they decided to do this whole entire thing. So I think the test, I want to say, was an IQ test. And I remember that one room, I want to say the average IQ after they took the first test was like a one, I don't know, I'll just call it a 117. And then the one room that had no music at all was like a 114. And then the Mozart room was like a 120 or something like that. And okay, I'm sure it helped to stimulate the brain cells somewhat, but are you going to be that much worse off if you listen to Bach or Beethoven or perhaps some calm music or musical music, Broadway music, country music that might be very, very calm and soothing, piano music, music you use for your meditation, rock music, rap music, hip hop music? I have students that got me into this one channel. I think it's great. Lo-fi. And if you can help me out, I think it's called Lo-fi Hip Hop. Help me out. Anybody who's in here who's turned me on to that. That's actually it's a good station. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a pretty good station to put on. But it's very, very, very relaxing and very, very good for calming you down. But you don't want to be putting on music that's going to be getting you excited. For me, I can't listen to certain types of classical music because it's actually counterproductive for me. It causes my brain to actually go kind of haywire and not in a productive way, where I start concentrating too much on the music, where it's not really background and taking the stress away. I start stressing and thinking and analyzing the music in my brain. It's a mess. You don't want to know about me. I'm in that way. Okay. All right. Something that's bad and something that is proven. And some of you are not going to like this. Okay. Let's see. I want to try to stay with my list here. Where's my last one? Was it 7? Was it 8? Let's see. 30 minutes exercise. I said exercise, reduce stress. I said music. Okay. So we're going to go to number 8. Alexa Estevez is here. Hello, Alexa. You need to, at all costs, avoid sugar. It is now scientifically proven that sugar worsens your memory because it hurts your learning and it destroys brain cells. Fact. Now, what sugar? Sugar can also include processed food and bad carbs. And I'm putting it the sugar-like. Processed food, bad carbs, sugar-like. If you eat a lot of bread, I hate to tell you, not so good for you. It just isn't. It just isn't, because what happens is your body, it takes those carbs, it can convert them into sugar. You'll be shocked. And I see this all the time. But for instance, if we take something like yogurt, I can tell you this as a certifiable fact, there's only one type of yogurt that is actually somewhat good for you. And the only good yogurt is plain Greek yogurt. That's it. I have studied this inside and out. Some of the ones that do not have the carbs, do not have the sugars, they may be loaded with chemicals. The reality of the situation is that the Greek yogurt that has the blueberry in it is not great for you, because then when you go and look at it, yeah, it's Greek yogurt and it's got all the probiotics, but guess what it also has? Carbs, and it has sugar. And you look on the back and it's got 20 grams of sugar. That's not good for you. So I'll tell you a little trick what I've been doing. I had today, one of the only things I had the whole entire day today was plain Greek yogurt. It's one of the only things I had. You know what I do? I sweetened it. I threw some fruit in there, and I actually sweetened it with flavored stevia. No calories in that whatsoever. I could flavor it however you want. It didn't taste at all like garbage. It tasted really good. The yogurt tasted amazing. So definitely think about a Greek yogurt. That's a really, really excellent thing. But anytime you're having the sugars, it is now proven. Just saw a recent video that it does. And that's why I'm looking up the side, because I don't want to get this inaccurate, that it actually destroys your brain cells and it can affect your learning. Sugar is not good for you in that regard. So that whole, that 5 hour energy garbage, it's just not good. And certainly not, grabbing that candy bar. Granola bars, they're not good for you. If you look at a lot of things with granola bars, they're not good for you. So just think about that. Okay. This is an interesting one. I learned this today. Again, I love learning new things here. So I think we're up to number 9. We're going up to number 9. Things that are positive. Okay. I'm just going to say creating any type of thing having to do with art or the arts, just creating art or the arts. The creation is the important component. It's not just looking at paintings, it's actually painting. This thing behind me, this is an oil painting. Someone took time to actually, put that to paper. And one of the things that I've said to my students many times in terms of memorization and triggering the memory, I've done this for years, that if you write, taking that writing utensil, putting it in your hand, the connection that it makes going all the way through your body, right to your brain, there's a connection there, and it gets those brain cells moving. It stimulates them in this amazing way. It stimulates it. Now, listen, again, typing is not a terrible thing. I guess if you got to text it, but this and this on the keys, not the same as this. So in terms of creating art, in terms of creating the arts, in terms of creating written documentation, if you are a writer, that's something that's extremely powerful, which then leads me to number 10, invaluable thing to do. Reading. You need to read. And I am guilty of that. Now, does anyone know? Yes, Alexa, so do I. But you know what? I'm going to draw more stick people. I am going to draw more stick people. Alexa, we're going to draw them together. We are going to become professional stick people drawers. Yes, that's me. A stick people drawer. Although, actually, has anybody ever played the game Draw Something before? Draw Something. That's the name. It's an app. Check out Draw Something. Play it with a friend. If you play it with me, it's a disaster. My artwork is so bad. It's so terrible. And I get these words and I don't know how to draw them, so I'll just write out the word on the screen. But whenever I draw my people, it's great. The stick figures are just they're just horrific. But definitely reading. And I don't read enough, but I will actually say that in my defense, actually do read quite a bit. I read the news frequently, read comic books. I was just looking at a motivational speaker. Check this guy out, by the way. I'm going to put his name in here in the chat. His name is Jim Quick. That is his actual last name. He didn't change it for that reason. He speaks very quickly. He is a wonderful motivational speaker, but he talks a lot about things that you can do to train your brain, different brain exercises. And I was listening to him for a while before tonight's podcast, and Jim Quick has all of these different things that he talks about with reading. And he talked about the fact that when he was younger, and he still this day battles dyslexia, which has to do with either reading words backwards or jumbling up the letters or numbers, things of that nature. He struggled with that, or still struggles with that. And what he did when he was younger, he read comic books. What did I read when I was younger? I read anything that had to do with sports. I wish my teachers would have let me just do that. Hello, teachers. Hello. Hi. Yeah, we don't all love Hemingway. We don't all love some of the things we have to read in school. We don't all love Shakespeare. I have greater appreciation for Shakespeare now, but I didn't love it back then. That wasn't really my thing. But if you can just find something that you enjoy, any type of reading is going to be great for your brain in terms of your vocabulary. Apps, an app that you can use. In terms of building the brain, any apps you want to look up things that have to do with brain building, brain teasers. These are excellent things. My favorite app of all time is Lumosity. Lumosity is amazing. I'm going to pull Lumosity up on my phone right now. Must do it. Looks like we have a, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Alice, I am still in need of, I just am reading your text here. I'm still in need of a winner for tonight. I know we're up at 8:03, but we're having a great, great conversation here. We're going to go a little bit overtime tonight. So the text that I'm looking at, no dice on those texts, just so you're aware of that. So thank you, Alice. I'm going to pull up Lumosity just for a minute. And so this is Lumosity. And let's see. Yeah, they have premium, but they have all different types of games here. I'm just kind of throw it up there. So if we go through the different types of games that are offered, okay, and these games are fun. So if we look here at the top, we have speed games like Highway Hazards. What is that? It's just a racing game. That's all you do. You race, but it's hard. It's not easy. You have to dodge different things. Penguin Pursuit is actually this deformed form of like Pac-Man, but it's hard. It's a really hard form of Pac-Man. Are we going to move over easily? No, we're not going to go over easily. River Ranger is a memory retention game. You got to remember where these little creatures are, and you got to tap on the screen. These speed matches, these things fly across the screen. You have to remember, did you just see the previous image? Okay, and then we have memory ones here, different types of memory match overdrives. This is, let's see if I can get a good one here. Yes, this one is really cool. This one is called Memory Matrix. And what happens here is when you do this game, Memory Matrix, so I have 13 tiles. That's what I'm up to right now. And what happens is, see that? Now, everything that you just saw on the screen, you've got to find where everything is. So I'm going to just, I'll show you how bad and how I wasn't looking. And then it shows you what you got right and what you got wrong. And because I did poorly, I got 12 tiles right. The Lumosity is excellent. Yes, the premium version is better, but I cannot stress the power of Lumosity. And it can be a little bit addictive. I have known some people that said that they had to disable it because they got too addicted to it. I am very proud to say, yes, I'm going to have a bragging moment here. It's going to happen. But in my age group, I am actually cognitive percentile. And I'll put this up. Let's see if we can get it here. Can you see that? My cognitive profile or my cognitive percentile is 99.5%. That's worldwide. I'm pretty proud of that, actually. I worked really hard to get that 99.5. That means I am, I guess, for my age group, smarter than 99.5% of the people. But again, we're only going by this game. Believe me, there are a lot of other people that are a lot smarter than I am. But that's it's a great thing. Is it a game? It is kind of a game. But other things that you can do, my father, for instance, and I'm proud of my dad. I got to give my dad credit. My dad will do word searches, or he does like the crossword puzzles, or the those find a word types things. They're good for your brain. Just trying to locate the words and finding them backwards and on diagonals. Those are good things to do. Playing card games. There are things where you may have to remember certain types of things. Anything where there's some type of memory recall. Very, very good for the brain. Okay, let's see if we forgot anything here. We did the brain teasers. Oh, yes. This is another big one. Discuss complex topics. An example would be something that you would debate with someone. Okay, we're not talking about socializing with someone. We're talking about taking some type of topic, some type of skill where we're going to have a very, very deep discussion. For instance, if I'm going to have a discussion on microphones, I can sit here and tell you all the reasons why I bought this Yeti. YETI. I can give you all the reasons why the Yeti is a superior microphone to other microphones out there. And we can have a discussion, but hold on. You can have the discussion with me if you have done some research, if you know what you're talking about. And if you don't, that's okay. But you want to listen, you want to retain, and then hopefully come back to the discussion where we can have some meaningful dialogue back and forth. The more that you know and the more that you can bring to the table, the more you can have the interaction back and forth. For instance, I take some of my students in this chat, and when I can talk music theory with them and talk about music notes, and I can talk about notation and different types of things like dynamics and metronome markings and tempo markings, when I'm able to have that conversation, that's really stimulating the brain cells. Okay. And there are some different types of people that know what I'm talking about. But when you're debating things, well, if you're going to debate, you need to know what you're talking about. You just can't have the type of debate, well, I'm a better person. No, that's not a debate. You're not debating anyone. And there are people out there who are really, really good at debating, but they're not great in politics, and they're not great when it comes to elections, because you have to be able to debate, but you also have to have the personality and be able to combine the two. Because the reality of the situation is, you may not like Donald Trump at all. You may not like him. But one of the things that he is a master at, he is an absolute master, is he knows the different types of things that you need to do in a debate to be able to get that captive audience to buy into whatever it is that you're saying, whether it's true or it's not true. Again, you don't have to like him, and we're not making this political, but you have to respect, remember, he is the president of the United States, and he got there for a reason, because he did the things that he needed to do to become president, and he did a little bit better than the other candidate. That's just a fact. And you could sit here, oh, Hillary won. No, that's not what this is about here. This has to do with the fact that this person specialized in that area, and he was better than other people in that particular domain, just like Obama was, just like the Bushes were, just like the Clinton, President Clinton was, and going all the way back to all the other presidents and all the other politicians that are out there. They may or may not get that from debating, but I can tell you that most of the Congress people out there that can debate, they do know what is they're talking about. And when you're going to do a podcast like this, you need to come to the table. You need to bring information with you. Notice that during my podcast, you don't hear me saying, I'm not sure. No, it's not happening. I'm able to keep the conversation going. And yeah, tonight I do have notes off to the side. I'm not afraid to say that I have the notes, because I need them to help me out and to keep me on task. And that's an important part of tonight's episode, especially with so many items here. I want to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. We got the friendly. This is important too. Someone said this at the very beginning. A few people said this. This is so important in terms of your brain. Self-care and medical care. My friends, you have to take care of yourself. You've got to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, your brain is not going to be working at 100% capacity. You're just not going to be. It's not going to happen. There are a lot of people that I know this week in a lot of schools in New Jersey who are taking state testing. If you are up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because you didn't have any homework and you decided to socialize with your friends and you decided you were going to be on social media all night, you got yourself 4 hours of sleep and you couldn't stay awake for the tests, the test results may get affected. What's going to happen when you have some other tests? These tests do count. What about tests that are going to really count for even bigger things, like AP tests, like the PSATs, like the SATs? Like, in my case, I had to take a type of examination to become a teacher, in which I've known teachers who have failed those tests before. I can tell you right now, the night before that test, I wasn't cramming anything. I had been studying everything and preparing for it, and I got a good night's sleep, and I was well rested for my test. That's extremely important. So self-care, medical care. There have been all different things I did. What did I do over my break? Yeah, it's part of it's because I'm older now, but I went to a lot of doctors over my break, and made sure to take care of getting different types of prescriptions of different things that I need for different types of things. I lost a lot of weight. I am flat-footed. I have flat feet. What does that mean? It means I need to wear special things called orthotics, so I'm not in immense amount of pain. Well, I said to myself, you just lost a lot of weight. Do you think you might need a change in orthotics? So I decided to go to my foot doctor. I have one, and I said to him, so do I need new orthotics? And he said, brilliant move. You do. He said, when you lose that much weight, he says, I'm taking a look at your feet right now. And he said, they've changed. You need them right away. And I'm going to be getting new ones. And I'm sure that my feet are going to feel a lot happier and a lot better. And my whole body is going to be feeling better. So you've got to take care of yourself. By the way, and I cannot stress this enough, mental health too. If you know that you're struggling in any type of way with mental health, with anxiety, with stress, you're having any type of disorder, you know that there's some type of chemical imbalance, you know that that exists, you've got to take care of that because that's going to affect your brain activity. It's going to affect you heavily. There are certain types of triggers that people have. Almost everyone in the world has different types of triggers. You know, that feeling you get where you just found out some horrible news or somebody caught you red-handed doing something you shouldn't have been doing, and you get that the feeling, that like feeling where you are like pale. And I had something like that happen earlier this week where like my face went white because there was just something that happened and it just triggered me. I know there's different triggers that we have. You need to know what those triggers are. And if you don't know, it's a good idea at the very least, when you go to see your doctor, when you go to see just your regular doctor, just mention it. Even just having a basic conversation, you'll actually feel better about it. And then if you need to go one step further and see a professional who specializes in that area, a therapist of sorts, then you go ahead and do that. But self-care, mental health, medical care, these are all really, really important things. So we've covered a lot of topics tonight. And what do you need to do? You need to take this information, you need to share it with people. You need to make sure that they are aware of this information. Share it with your family members. Share this podcast with them. By the way, thank you for all the likes. There have been so many likes tonight, and I appreciate that. I were already 14 likes before I said anything. But you know what? There are some of you out there, you did not hit the thumbs up yet. Come on. Hello. Hello. Please hit the thumbs up. And please, if you have not already viewed the other podcasts, please take the moment to do so. Episode 274 was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed producing number 274. It has to do with speeches at school concerts. And while a lot of it is geared more towards music teachers and just teachers in general, I will say that you can definitely take that material and use it for any type of speech writing, for anything you're going to be doing in the future about things that you want to say, things that you don't want to say. So definitely check out that episode 274. Check out some of these other ones. You're going to be able to get something out of it. What are you going to do? You're going to strengthen your brain power. Hello, anyone home? Yes, you need to make sure to do that. If you haven't viewed any of the other episodes, just quickly do me a favor. Do yourself a favor tonight. If you haven't subscribed, do that. But start off with episode 251. Just go through the different episodes. If you have some free time, just go through the iTunes episodes. Go through, give me a 5-star rating. That would mean everything to me. It doesn't take long. Just go through the different iTunes episodes. Just give me a 5-star rating. That would mean a lot to me. Give me some type of rating, some type of feedback. If you could do that on SoundCloud, you can do that on iTunes. It doesn't take much time. Just do it while you have some time to kill. I do it for friends all the time. I like videos because it's nice to be liked, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. All right. Let's see what we have here. We got a new one tonight. Here it is. These are brand new from Amazon. Brand new from Amazon. Here we go. Right there, we are dealing with oranga. Orange. What is orange again in Spanish? Help me out. I'm supposed to know this. Why do I not know? I should know what orange is in Spanish. But yes, it is true. We are dealing with an orange Amazon gift card. It is right there. There it is. Okay. Naranja? Naranja. Naranja. Did I do well? Is that good? I don't know. You can correct me later. I'm not sure. Okay, so there we go. Amazon gift card. Let's see who's going to be getting it tonight. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Okay. Oh, look at this. Alice. I mean, how amazing is Alice? How does she do this every single night? Are you kidding me? Look at this recap. This recap is amazing. Do me a favor. Can somebody here, I'm going to challenge someone. I want you right now, and I will do something special for you. If you can be the first person right now, I want you to take everything that Alice has here, all these different things, that whole recap. I want you to copy the whole entire thing, put it as a comment right now. Put that in. Let's see who can do it the quickest. And if you're all racing against each other, you know what? That's fine. But let's see who can put it in as a comment right now for this episode. Let's see who the first person can be. I'll come up with something special for you for next week. All right. $15 Amazon gift card going to tonight. Let's take a look. Random person generator. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. You can't copy and paste. Well, I guess you're going to be doing some typing, huh? Ha 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 ha. You're going to be doing some typing. All right. Here we go. All right. Amazon gift card. Amazon gift card. Going to tonight. I need some drum rolls. Do you have some drum rolls? Because I'm not doing my drum roll until I get a little bit of this coffee here. Yeah. Need some drum rolls, please. Drum rolls. Help me out. Let's see who is getting the gift card for tonight. $15 gift card. F. How L has thrown it out there. Here we go. Alexa Estevez has given me something. Insert 10x drum roll. Thank you, Sean Stella. Anyone else? Do I get some big drums in there for the $15 Amazon gift card? Here it comes. Michelle Gallegos. Michelle, congratulations. You are the winner of this amazing $15 Amazon gift card. Congratulations to Michelle. Michelle, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast. Thank you to all of you for contributing. This was one of our best episodes that we've ever had tonight. This was so incredible, so amazing. Again, where did the topic come from? It came from one of you. I got the suggestion of doing something that had to do with strengthening brain activity, brain power, and wow, yeah, I really can do this because you know what? We get it done. We are getting it done, and we do it like no one does it in the industry. Those are facts. Slight little side note that I want you to be aware of. If you have an interest, and you must contact me about this, you must contact me. Please send me a message. I'm going to ask you to please send the message not through email. Please send a message through Getting It Done on Facebook. So if you have Facebook, or you know someone who does, and you can go on there, that's the only place I can accept messages. Obviously, that's not for conversations. I don't do the whole conversation thing through there. It'll be very, very minimal. But what I will say is, if you have an interest, I am looking at the end of June, having a potential live podcast, but I'm talking live as in audience. We're going to be having a studio audience. It's going to be professionally recorded. It's going to be a long podcast. We're not going to be dealing with an hour here. We're talking about clinics. We're talking about workshop. It is all going to be free. We're going to get together for several hours, and we're just going to have a blast, and we're going to learn. If you are under the age of 18, you would need to be accompanied by an adult. You'd have to sign some paperwork, some waivers, some clearances, and things of that nature. But if you have an interest in attending something like that, that. There's going to be food, there's going to be fun, there's going to be prizes, but it's going to be, again, it's going to be a podcast. It's going to be taking place on a weekend, and it's going to be towards the end of June. Be looking towards the end of June. So if you have an interest, you must let me know. Again, please message me through Facebook to just let me know that you have an interest. And I'm probably going to ask who you are, age, and the fact that you would need to be accompanied by an adult if you are under the age of 18. So that's where we're basically at in terms of the podcast right now. We're going to keep the episodes coming along, the weekly episodes, the live podcasts. We are going to have our podcast at the end of the month. It looks like the final week of May. Looks like we're going to be going to a Friday night. I think we're going to be, yeah, that's right. We're going to be going out on the road again. We're going to be going on the road once again. Getting it done on the road. We're going to do another on the road podcast. So we'll be doing that towards the end of May. That is concert season in my school district. So I'm going to be very, very busy with lots of different responsibilities. But so it looks like that Friday night, I think that's going to be May 31st. So keep that in mind. We got Thursdays coming up. And then when we hit May, the end of May, the 31st, looks like we're going to be getting it done on the road again. Thank you again to all of you. Please, again, like the episode. Please put comments below. Comments on any of my other episodes. Please, any types of comments you can put on. Let's keep on getting more subscribers. We've been stuck now at a number for a little while. We want to bump it up. We want to get to 400. We want that quest to ultimately get to 1,000. And can't do it without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You are all the best. You improved so much, and you are smarter as a result of tonight. Peace.